So first topic, we're gonna talk sports here. Let's talk about the notorious game, the game everybody talking about, Edna Call versus St. Aug. What's your takes on that game?
Man, my takes on that game is I basically could just say two teams that really didn't let nobody really score on them net this season. They only both teams only had what
Like,
one hard one hard opponent this whole season since the beginning of the season. So this should be a dogfight both ways. My verdict of who gonna win probably by 7 points, and you're not gonna know who gonna win it until fourth quarter.
my takes is you look on the history of St. Aug versus Edna Call ever since they joined the Catholic. And just what I think last year they had one close game out of all them years, and every single year, Paul won the district. Paul just won the district. They blew everybody out. It's really looking like no competition for it. And it was even worse when it was in the regular division with, Warren Eastern, Landry, and all of them before everything got switched up the way it was. And like you said, both teams had one hard game in the car facing the American Heritage out of Florida, but they was missing, five-star quarterback Dale Bell, but who knows what the outcome would have been if he would have played. So who knows? And same thing with St. Aug. They faced a five-star quarterback themselves. And I can't remember the guy's name, but they played Legacy School of Sports and Science out of Houston, Texas, and the game wasn't defense wasn't really a factor in that game. I'm just be honest, because Legacy scored 40 some points, St. Aug scored 60 some, so it was like their defense was tested and they didn't too much. I wouldn't say they passed the test if we being real. When it comes to talking about elite defenses, you gave up 40 some points. So I'm like, hey, your defense is good, but it's not elite. If you get what I'm saying. Just not too long ago, just last week, you played a Warren Eastern team that I don't too much think they good, but they're not St. Aug and Car good. So hey, you only score 47 points with them and you give up 22 points. So it's like, what's going on with your defense? Now, when it comes to adding the card, they only gave up 20 points this whole season. 17 versus Heritage and 3 versus Holy Cross. Everybody else, 0. So it's like, whose defense really was leaning towards on the defense side hard. But when you talk offense, you got to go with St. Aug. And so, in fact, they scored 200 plus points already. And
Right, right.
they one of the top teams in the state when it comes to score. So it's like, who's really the top dog here? Is we heading into a close game or is we heading to a shootout? Who knows? And then,
And
it's a lot of
my
stuff that's around that game. The John Johnson, you got St. Aug quarterback. So it's like one versus one, literally. And it's like, hey, it could be a close game, but it can be a shootout at the same time. Who knows?
and that's going back to what I was saying though. I feel like it's gonna be determined. It's gonna be determined in the fourth quarter. That's why I say whoever gonna win is gonna be by 7. I could even say probably a field goal.
Because both of them got kickers. The kicker field goal, as you see, versus
Now, now it's the other way around too. It's the other way around too. It could be Carr getting to a hot start, and at the Carr start off hot, it's no slowing them down. It could be a blowout.
yeah,
Either way,
it's,
though.
there's so many possibilities with this game in particular. So, like, hey, only time will tell. But if you had to make a prediction, who are you going with?
If I have to make a prediction, who I'm going with, that's a hard one right there. That's a hard one. Let me
Well,
do it from the perspective if I was two different people. I say Carr. I say Carr 28-21. But then if it was the other way around, I say no. I say no 21-24.
Okay, that's reasonable. I'm gonna do it that same way. I feel like put it like this: if our defense continue the dominance that they doing, we can very much see a 42-20 game.
Hmm.
But if both offenses, hard to stop wise, we can just very much see a 48 to 46 type of game or 46 to 40 type of game. Who knows? So it's like, what are we running into with this game? Because there's so many
Only
possibilities.
there's so many possibilities, and only time will tell. The lights almost here, the camera's almost on. It's almost game time. We got what today, Wednesday, 2 more days.
Yeah. All right, I want to talk a little bit about middle school sports. And both in the states of Mississippi and Louisiana, both middle school sports face the problem where exposure don't really find them until the only way exposure to find middle school sports is travel season. That's it. During the school year, like right now, North middle school football, you won't know there's a game unless somebody goes.
True.
And if nobody goes, no media goes to the game, you really won't know the game happened.
Really.
Nowadays, it's hard to find the schedule because nobody really into it. The stands don't really be packed. They try to make it. They try to make it what it is, but it's just the support level for middle school sports is bad. And we talking football. Let's talk a little bit about Norwood Middle School Football League. Schaumburg is a team to they a team to watch. And here's why I say that. They have a big turnaround. Just last year, Schaumburg was terrible. They suck. These last 2, 3 years, Schaumburg sucked. And this year, they started off hot. They 1-0, got them a good win. They face a Renew Laurel team tonight, who's I believe they're 1-1. So it's like if they pull out a win here, would you consider them a top team in the league?
Yes, and this is why. Just like you said, 2 seasons ago, they wasn't a team that was talked about. Then last season it was kind of a 50-50 team. They was talked about and then they fell apart. This year everybody sees them as a team to beat. Then you got to think about who's the number one team in North football right now. And that's a question. That's a question for you. Who you believe is the number one team?
Right now, off the top of my head, as much as this going to shock people, I'm gonna go with Renew Moulton. I believe that's how you say their school name, Moulton. I think like Lakefront Moulton, something like that. But
I believe Lakefront Moulton.
yeah, they're 2-0, undefeated. Got good wins, playing great defense. So like right now up front, they are looking like the number one team.
Okay, okay.
I have somebody like Moulton, kind of Schomburg and Morial. They like this right now because you didn't
Okay.
see too much of Morial, but they recently just got they played a Catholic school and that game was they didn't win. They only scored 6 points. I believe it was like a 27-6 game, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't win there, so it's like, is y'all gonna be that same dominant team that was last year?
Let's
That's the question.
talking about middle school exposure. Let's go farther into that. Let's go to basketball. Basketball. They don't get the same exposure as football either. Football didn't get no exposure. Basketball barely got any media presence I know last year basketball season, me, Trent City TV, I went there with another upcoming media person. I believe it was Pick 'em Up Media. So yeah.
But
So I
that's an inside joke, y'all. That's an inside joke, bro.
Yeah, so I ended up going with him, and me and him recorded a few of the game. I also ended up doing some interviews with the players, and I also recently just dropped my last season MVPs for boys, girls, middle school, and I only did a high school runner up. I mean, I only did a high school runner up for girls. So for my boys, it was True Orange. For middle school boy basketball. For from where True Orange from I can't think of the school name right off the top of my head right now. Oh, Andrew Wilson.
Yeah.
Then you had Janari Madison from Kip East, back to back four-piece champion. And then my high school girls, I only did high school girls, ended up being Summer from Frederick Douglass. She also she had a great season. I believe Frederick Douglass ended up making it to the second round. And the only reason why I brought up girls high school because they don't get enough exposure either.
At
They
all.
don't. Nobody pay attention to middle school boys and girls sports, and girls high school basketball does not get enough media presence at
At all.
all.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
and Summer just went to college this recent year, and she just made the team as a freshman, and I believe she's going to,
Make a big impact.
huh?
He'll make a big impact year one.
Yeah, she going to it's Lincoln Academy or Lincoln University. It's one of them, but yeah, she just recently posted that she made the team freshman. I don't know if she's starting or not, but me bringing up high school, I feel like more media presence needs to be to all these games. I'm just one person, you just one person. You can't make it to every game. I get middle school players hitting me up all the time. Coach, you can make it out to my game. Coach, you can make it out to my game. And I be telling them like the schedule full, and I hate to tell kids the schedule is full because I want to be able to attend all the games I can and give everybody the exposure they need, especially middle school kids going to college. I mean, going to high school, and high school kids going to college.
Okay. Let's talk about coaching. I know we both coach girls basketball, or you coach girls and boys. But growing off your experience so far, what you did went through when it came to coaching, what's your pros and cons of the whole coaching girls basketball at a
I'm not
big
going to point
level?
out. I'm not going to point out the difference between boys and girls, so I'm gonna keep it neutral, and I'm gonna say consistence. I don't get enough consistency with players um and that's not just players. I understand everybody have things going on, parents got jobs, but that should be a way that it should be a way that we can find sponsors to be able to, hey coach, I can send you a few dollars here, a few dollars there. I can help you get your players back and forth to practice at home because parents can't do it all by themselves. Coaches try giving kids rides to games and practice, but coaches could do so much. So the only thing, my biggest pet peeve about coaching right now is getting my players here and there.
Yeah, I didn't touch up on a little of that subject. It was about like within these last 2 years, man, I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of stuff that like when it comes to coaching girls basketball, you have to like be real mindful and real like conservative of how you dealing with certain situations and I'm people with mine. I'm strict. I'm gonna restrict them because the way the area that our team is in, the way the area is, just like they can meet the wrong person. That might be the reason they lose their life. Meet the wrong boy. That might be the reason they lose their life. Like stuff in Gulfport is not all freaking laughs and easy and nothing like that. It's just I see so many young folk going down the wrong path off of one bad decision without nobody telling them right from wrong. And there's a lot of kids out here fighting and they doing all type of stuff to mess their image up. And they that translates to social media. Boom. Now you really is on it. Once it hits social media, there's no erasing that.
And
Because
that's
somebody's
what I try. Yeah.
pre-recorded.
And that's what I try and explain to the kids too, though. Like a lot of y'all say, oh, basketball and kids young, these kids are young. Basketball, football, all these different type of sports is their way to get out from the things they doing. But a lot of these kids, they play basketball and all these different other sports because this is their peace. This is they way of getting away from everything. But who for say is when they not around their coaches and around that atmosphere, what's going on outside of the basketball gym or the football field. You don't know what them kids going through. Sometime, and not even trying to say it like that. Sometimes parents don't even know what's going on in their own kid's head. You can't understand what's going on because they don't tell you. They don't tell their parents. So it's just like a lot to really bring in and try and solve with the parent. Like you could call the parent up and tell the parent, "Well, I saw this type of look on their face or this type of emotion. I didn't understand. Do you understand what's going on?" And then when the parent tell you what's going on, then it's like, okay, now I get it. Now I gotta pay closer attention to this player and try and build that player up to be something better than what they already expected themselves to be.
And that's the same thing. Like with my players, it's like they body language. I read their body language because like certain days I look at the ones that be usually active and very talkative, and I have some that don't too much like to be talkative with folk. And sometimes you gotta be careful. You gotta like actually pay attention because you never know what what can be the problem. Sometimes some players they naturally do have a good job of hiding that hurt they feel that's in their mind or that depression or whatever they're going through. A lot of them have depression, but it's like they try not to talk to nobody or show it because they feel like people gonna look at people gonna look at them differently, and especially with girls. Girls depression can get a girl faster than they get a boy. But like the girl mind is not as strong as a boy mind. Not saying that girls are weak, but boys' minds is still it's way tougher than a girl, especially emotionally, mentally. So it's like with them, you really gotta like pay attention and let them know you're there for them. Is that about telling them or like what I do? I let them know I'm here. And when I can, I take them out to eat, and even if we're not in season, I constantly keep that take them out to eat every once in a while. Take them somewhere somewhere where they can have fun or whatever. Whatever place they want to go, we go over there. Like if they want to go to main event or something, we go there. So like I try to keep that basically like father figure role to let them know, hey, you're not by yourself. You have somebody here. Because a lot of parents, they don't be listening to their child. They may say that sometimes like I'm saying it off of stuff I didn't like seen from other people. I'm not particularly talking about specific folks, but I'm like stuff I didn't seen You know, a lot of parents are, yeah, in front of the coach, they real active, but when they're not around coach, it's a whole different story. And you know, the player come you telling you, hey, such and such. They're like, hey, what's really going on? Yeah, and sometimes you don't want to like too much. It's like you don't try not to get too much involved because you think that's gonna start a whole thing. But it's like it's good to say something, have a talk with a parent or something like that. But there's some stuff you just naturally got to pray on. I'm not gonna lie to you. Some stuff you can't really say nothing about. That's just something you got to pray on because like at the end of the day, you're only the coach. I'm like you can only deal with what the player tells you or what the parent tells you. So it's like coaching girls is it's difficult but not difficult if you get what I'm saying. So
I
like
get you.
with them, you never know what's gonna be the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about next season. Um, well, before we talk about that, we're gonna talk a little bit about All Star Weekend. You know, we was out there in New Orleans at Tulane with Lamar International. We had a good time. You know, we coached seventh grade and juniors and seniors. That let's talk about that group we had for juniors and seniors. We had a good group. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah,
you.
that group was special.
That what's your take on that group? Like, what you feel like? What you got from that group, basically?
For one and for more to go into that, I definitely want to say I definitely want to say thank you to them coaches of them girls because they was well coachable, well teachable. It was a lot. It was a lot that we could tell them, and they was able to get back on the court and fix it. And like we kept getting backdoored a lot. We had two of the biggest bigs out there, and we kept getting backdoored a lot.
That
And
Janari and
we
you
was
had
able
Keelan.
yeah, we was able to tell them like, hey, that back door just contain, move your body. And after that, they understood. They said we got you, and we didn't let up.
Oh,
We ended up what? If I'm not mistaken, we ended up finishing in double digits.
yep, sure did.
Yeah, double digits.
You know, it was a good game all around. You can see what I got on the screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
So yeah, we had a real good group. Like you were saying, the two centers. You know, Keela and I don't want to say this girl name. I think it's Janari. They was real pretty much paint protection, literally. They scored when needed to. They played defense. If they had to step out, they did what they had to do. And all the other teammates, you know, Javia, Treasure. Let's talk about Treasure. She plays so smooth and sneaky. She was always at the right place.
At the right time.
Exactly. Because I'm gonna keep it real. It was a lot of time. I'm like, hey, why is it 5-on-4? Whole time I see them pass to the paint, Treasure wide open. Because you know she just move around fundamentally and she know how to read what spot to be at and what not to do. And she automatically know, hey, okay, this player needs a screen. In her mind, she just right place, right time. She know how to time it perfectly. And she was one of the players I say that really on the defensive side, that was one of our best defenders on that team. Because like she had a lot of turnovers and we was able to get her rotated. And every time she got in, she did what she had to do. Not saying other players didn't, but she really kind of let's say she had the script basically.
Yep.
She had a, like an MVP type performance, and that what's that child? I don't know how to pronounce her name, but number one who we had at point guard from Slidell High School, man, she gonna be something, bro. She did some moves I can't even do myself. Like for real, bro. She real shifty. She know how to pass the ball. She know how to move the ball around. She's a true point guard when it comes to saying when you need a point guard. She's a true point guard, and it's the same thing with Javia. Hey, same thing with her. She's a true point guard, but I see her more as a shooting guard type. But hey, she can play all around though. That girl got skill. She can play all around, and that was really with both of them groups we had. That was special. We 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 had a group. I thought we had the best ones there. As you see, went 2-0, won both of them. You know, hopefully we can run that back next year. Cause I know a lot of them ain't gonna be there next year. But
Hope so. Hope so. Hope I do get back invited to All-Star game and be able to be All-Star coach.
but yeah, that was I really enjoyed that whole weekend. That was good, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I really enjoyed the whole weekend.
All right, so talking about next AU season, as we recently just got got on this Elite 40, the NE 2K circuit, and recruiting wise, right now we doing good. As you said before, one of our centers we had in the game, in the All-Star game, Janari, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But we previously was able to get her to come join us, and I feel like her and one of the players we had in Mississippi, Chloe Visenhaven, she was them two together. They're gonna be real special. Here's why I say this. As you know, the way Denard plays, she can play every spot on the court. She scored when needed. I feel like in the paint, you can't stop her in the paint. We just been real. I believe she had a couple of blocks. Can't remember for sure, but I believe she had at least one block. I know somebody down there got a block. It was either her or Kiva. And Josh, she gonna be real special. And then with KJ more of a last year she played a lot outside to middle. I feel like with them two, they they play similar. They play real similar, and it's like, hey, if you surround the right talent around that, hey, year one, a lot of eyes gonna be on you. Or you come across that one team they consider one of the big dogs and you beat them. Year one, all eyes gonna be on you. And,
Yes, sir.
we got a couple of the places we got for tournaments. I know the circle location. You got the going to Houston in April. You got a Kentucky tournament in May. But, as everybody knows, Run for Roses in July. Being out there for a whole week, it's like, hey,
Gotta
oh,
make a statement.
gotta make a statement. Can't come out, oh, we start out on 3 and such and such. People gonna be like, hey, did we make a mistake accepting this team? I'm like, hey, we gotta go out and make a statement, let it be known that we here, not oh, we just a new team trying to get our feet wet. No. We here to stay, we here to win. Because the goal is to be a top team in every single tournament you come across, whether that's circuit wise or local wise. We just got to come out and make a statement and get the right pieces around each other. And we got a lot of good players so far. Because we got a lot of kind of half returning players, half new players. So it's like it ain't too much we got to start over on. There's a couple of new players you got to.
And you need to also say that our team is combined from Mississippi and Louisiana.
Yeah, we got Mississippi and Louisiana just so we looking real good, and there's a lot of interest we have too. So it's like, hey, scary hours, dog. Only time will tell, bro. 'Cause, hey, we in October, we got to start preparing. You know, we finna hit our recruiting to where we going to games recruiting. You know, it's almost time for us to get to middle school basketball start this month, high school start next month. So it's like, you know, it's almost time to go travel and recruit. But, you know, recruit not just, hey, takes this person, take recruiting is go and meet the family and going to the games and see how the player is in games. Because yeah, it's we can see them through video and we go see them in game. They don't play how they play in video. They're like, dang, what happened? So it's like recruiting has so many different stages, bro. And you know, time is flying. We already in October. We got November, December, January. We got to start getting ready for practice late January, early February. And it just so happened Mardi Gras fall early, so it's like kind of that's already one challenge we didn't ran into already. So it's like scheduling wise, you got a practice schedule gonna be kind of it's gonna be good, but it's like you got to schedule around
You got to schedule around all the other activities that the kids
right
do.
because then especially like high school football, they have not high school basketball, they have playoffs around that time also. So it's like you got to
Yep.
try to
High school players can't practice during season.
right.
Middle school players had they also limited to the amount of times they could practice with us in middle school.
You know,
Especially down here, they strict on that rule. High school players, especially in Louisiana, high school players cannot touch no AAU court, no court outside of training without basketball season over with.
uh, I thought, hey, we this year gonna be real big. This year really gonna be real big on both sides. We got a statement to make most definitely, and hey, you gotta come out punching. You know, mentally, you can't let other teams and other players, other coaches knock you off your game mentally because when you play a lot of teams, is they try to get to your head. They get to your head, oh, they know they got you. Then when I tell my players, hey, it's all right to say something, but don't say nothing stupid. Just like, okay, cool, cool. And just keep playing your game. But the minute you get the constantly responding to them, oh, they got you. Oh, let's talk college football. College football. And we're gonna particularly talk Louisiana area. Starting with Tulane. These past couple of years, Tulane been rocking and rolling. They've been rocking and rolling, dog. Finishing up, I believe the last couple of years they only had like each season they only had like two losses, 2 to 3 losses, or sometimes even one loss. So it's like
This year they only got one loss so far.
right going into conference. They recently, I believe, they just beat Memphis. Oh
If I'm
no,
not mistaken,
it was either Memphis or Tulsa, one of the two.
I believe it was Tulsa.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was Tulsa. So you know, they starting out with conference play. It's like everyone matters up until that point because you never know one loss you took in conference play could be the reason you not even considered for playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with LSU. LSU just recently took their first loss of the season and so happened to be conference play. The coaching from that game I just watched LSU versus Ole Miss. The coaching was bad. Offensive side, coaching was bad. The production from the quarterback was terrible. And like Garrett Nussmeyer, you have a lot of underthrows. these last couple of weeks, we've been getting by, but we had a lot of underthrows because the defense doing their job. Is the offense is LSU's biggest problem. What's your takes on LSU?
LSU, up until the point where we played Ole Miss last week, perfect, perfect, perfect. We played. It looked like to me, it's like when we played a different team, probably with the same energy we had on the field. It's like the coaching just changed. Like it went from us what it was. We was 3-0 before we played Ole Miss.
Oh no.
4-0. We was 4-0 before we played Ole Miss. If everything was working up until that point, we didn't really need to change nothing. We probably need to tweak this and tweak that, and that would have been called a day. But we tried to change up everything within a week to get prepared for that game, and everything fell apart. So my opinion on LSU is we're gonna keep fighting, and hopefully we're gonna see them in the national championship.
I think the upcoming schedule. I can't remember exactly. Coming off the break because we got a bye week this week. Next week they host South Carolina, and South Carolina they just took a loss to somebody recently. So it's like LSU, what are y'all gonna do to fix this problem y'all just had? So what you think changed in the offseason? What you think got the defense so bumped up how it is now?
Just the time and the effort. They practiced a long time over the break. They just they just built. They just built. They got the key pieces they need. The new pieces came in, pushed some of the old players that's still there. Hey, they just connect. They got the chemistry they need, and they're gonna go from there.
All right. You think they can finish? You think they can finish like make a run to the playoffs?
I think the only loss we're gonna take this year is from Ole Miss. I don't feel like LSU gonna fall apart no more after that.
What you think they got to change offensively to make that run towards the playoffs?
I think we just need to go back to what we was already having. I think we need to go back to that offense that we was already fulfilling before they just came out of nowhere against Ole Miss and tried to come up with a brand new offensive scheme.
Yeah, Ole Miss they looking special right now. Let me pull up this LSU schedule. There we go. Looking at this schedule, okay, we what 5 games in? We have
5
4-1.
games in.
We're hosting we're hosting a South Carolina team coming into town. They got Lenore Sellers, great quarterback. What's your prediction on that game? This is a night game also at Death Valley. So we got two, what I think South Carolina up to this point only lost 1 or 2 games. Currently unranked, I believe.
My predictions, and I'm gonna just say score wise, I'm not gonna really too much speak on the game per se. I'm gonna just speak on my predictions on what the score might be. I give it I give it LSU. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna speak on the score. I'm gonna just predict win or loss. I give it to LSU, and this is my reason why. I feel like if we go back to that LSU we had against Clemson, Louisiana Tech, Florida, Southeastern Louisiana, if we go back to that offense before we played Ole Miss, we're gonna be unstoppable.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, even through stretches through them games, the offense was kind of shaky, especially versus Louisiana Tech. I wasn't too impressed with that offense. The offense ain't show. I'm keeping it buck. I feel like the offense didn't show up to Southern Louisiana, Southeastern Louisiana. Excuse me, but yeah, I feel like the offense didn't show up till then. And receivers, we have a lot of drops. Not gonna lie. Them first couple games, drops was one of our biggest problems. I just said, hey, defense is great. I feel like LSU gets the bounce back this game, winning by I say about 10 to 17 points. I say they get the job done, but going into Vanderbilt, I feel like that's gonna be a game that it really all depends on offense. I feel like that's gonna be a game the offense gonna really have to play. Because defense gonna do their job, but Vanderbilt has a great defense also. But they ain't 5-0 for no reason. And, it's the same thing going to Texas A&M before we go into that last stretch starting with Alabama. All of them got great offenses, good defenses. And it's like, what are we gonna do versus a evenly matched defense? So, hey, only time will tell on that is who knows? You think I'm
You're
actually
definitely right. You're definitely right on who knows.
yeah. What you think? You think Tulane can make a possible run and sneak in the playoff?
I never hold nothing against Tulane, and this is why Tulane has been playing their brand of football for the past 3 seasons now, including this season. This is the third season where I say Tulane been playing their brand of football, and I give it Tulane going all the way again.
But like they can win out and win the conference championship, they most definitely get in at that 12th spot. I feel like they can most definitely get in at the 12th spot, and hopefully LSU gets in as well. It was like, what can they do to? What do they have to do to like kind of basically go up undefeated from now all the way to December? But hey, only time will tell. Just gotta get the right coaching. Don't try to change nothing up unless you have to.
Unless you have to. That's the big keywords right there.
Yeah,
Unless you have to.
especially with LSU, it's like they try to change stuff for what? I'm like, hey, if Gary Nussmeier, if he's not 100%, we have a backup quarterback very capable of playing at a high level in the SEC. I'm saying, why we have him if we're not going to use him when the quarterback is not 100%? So, hey, results shows who really wants to win and who don't. And coaches is a big part of it. It's a big part of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you have anything to say before we get up out of it?
I appreciate you letting me be on the first episode, the first little part of your episode of Overlooked Talks. Um, I'm happy to ever come back whenever you need me to come back and talk about anything else. Appreciate your time.
Third. All right, y'all. That's it for episode one. Next episode, we're gonna have a couple players joining on and interviewing a couple players. And hey, everybody must do your job. Simple as that. Do your job. If you do your job, they're not gonna overlook.